When I say the words Final Fantasy, what do you think of? Is it Cloud Strife doing everything he can to avoid women? Maybe it's Titus and Waka going 300-0 in a blitzball tournament. You may even see 4 kings riding around in the desert taking photos of each other and eating cup noodles by a campfire. But for me, when I think of Final Fantasy, this is what I think of. There's something so special about the first game, or at least the Pixel Remaster of it. I'm not that old. I'm not that old. It's short and simple, but it packs a lot into a tiny package, and if you'll indulge me for just a bit, I'd love to tell you about it. Bro, the game hasn't even started and I'm crying on the main menu. The music in this series is godlike. Put me in the game, just pixelate my bald head and Final Fantasize me, dude. If you're familiar with the most popular games in the series, you might know that every game has a colorful cast of characters that each hold a unique place in the world. Not in this one. In Final Fantasy, you are warrior. You are monk. Your job is your life, and your life is combat. Oh, and also just for fun, I can name you whatever I want, like OG Bozo or Virginity Rocks. Speaking of characters, in this game we control 4 of them, and we can create whatever party composition that we want. Me personally, I would recommend a warrior, monk, white mage, black mage combo, just so you can kind of fill every niche and not have any problems in the game. But if you want something a little spicier, you can go all physical damage. Warrior, monk, red mage, thief. You'll have virtually no magic damage, but your melee damage? Bonkers. Oh, you want to go really crazy? 2 black mages, 1 red mage, 1 white mage. I don't know. Why not? Who's gonna stop you? Every enemy that can inflict damage? Who cares? You want to get even crazier? Are you cool enough? Warrior, 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 warrior. We are the winds whipping through the trees. We are the sun's rays beating down on your backs. When your arrows blot out the sun, we shall fight in the shade. I decided to go with something a little more balanced. We have Big Bala, the indisputable champion of combat and fierce enemy of the written word, the red mage, Domino. It's like Domino, but with a French twist. Fingers, the thief, who is legally obligated to be here, and the black mage, Thinky, famous for wearing this same coat for his entire life. The world is practically saved already. Look, I won't lie to you, when we start the game, it's real bad. The winds ain't blowing. The seas are being pretty normal, honestly. The earth is decaying. But fear not, my friends, for we hold the crystals. The most powerful forces in every Final Fantasy game, but they are darkened and need to be awoken. Restoring power to these crystals is what the entire game is about. If we restore the crystals, we save the planet. So let's do it. The first thing we do is meet the King of Corneria, who is so hyped by seeing our crystals that he sends us to rescue his daughter, Princess Sarah. Naturally, this means killing her abductor, Garland, who is the greatest swordsman in the land. The greatest swordsman. I've got 25 health, man. What the fuck? This dude is bugging. Hold on. Let me get 2 of these and 1 of those and maybe some of that. Your king sucks, by the way. All right, let's train. The funny thing about leveling up in this game is you never know what you're gonna get. Sometimes you'll level up and literally every stat will increase. You're like a whole new man. And then sometimes you get 1 health point. Anyways, we make it to Garland, the greatest swordsman in the land. Garland Stormbringer. Garland Rainlicker. First of his name. Oh shit, he's dead. Sorry, buddy, we trained too hard. The princess is loving it though and sends us back to her dad, who rebuilds a bridge so we can finally explore that terrible world I was talking about earlier. Oh boy. They say that any adventurer bound for greatness will encounter perilous dangers in the wild. And it wasn't long until we ran into 4 crazy horses.
What do you mean by that?
I saw someone do this. Was this a TikTok? We were watching something where someone's like, we don't actually need gravity. We were watching this to me. Like, we actually don't need it.
What do you mean that we don't need gravity?
What if it was never invented?
Those are some crazy horses. They also say that heroes will help all those in need, but that sounds exhausting and I just fought a gang of crazy horses, so I'm gonna bounce. But good luck to you. After buying a few new spells, I get the itch to provoke some pirates. Ye must have cannonballs of steel to be taken on the great pirate. Yeah, here's my wallet, got all my cards in there, social security number, insurance, the ship is in the harbor, please just bury me next to my parents. Alright, thanks guys. So now we have a boat, and we're free to explore the open sea and fight sharks on the deck of the ship, like real sailors. After crossing the sea and landing in the town of Elfheim, we come across an elven prince who has been asleep for 5 years. If that's not crazy enough, there's a guy next to him who's like, there's probably a way to wake him up. I don't know. I haven't really been looking. Northwest of town is another castle where we find an elven king who says that some evil elves tricked him real good and now he wants us to go find him a crown. So at this point I start to wonder if this world is even worth saving. 2 elves, 2 problems. Let's delve into this continent's butthole and try not to catch E. coli. Whoops. Got some in my mouth. At one point my man Stinky died in the trenches, and when we were on the way back to town the team kept throwing his lifeless corpse into battle. I found that to be pretty distasteful. I'll never forget how incredulous this man sounded when he asked if we really wanted to resurrect Stinky. We go back to the deepest recesses of the cave, kill some fully sentient evil squid demons, and find the king's crown. Let's get the fuck out of here, dude. We return the crown to the Elf King, and he immediately laughs at us for how absolutely stupid we are, and reveals that he was the tricky evil elf all along. But I've yet to meet a boss that survives 2 turns in this game, so I'm chilling. Anyways, he dies, and we get the Crystal Eye. This is where things get a little bit messy. We now have to hop back on the ship, go back to the first continent, find this cave, trade this witch the eye for the Jolt tonic, go back to the boat, sail to Elfheim, take a power nap, go to the prince, and wake him up. I'm awake. Oh boy, I can't wait to sail past my favorite broken bridge and meet with my greatest friend, Garland, the master swordsman. Yeah, buddy? Okay. In order to aid the prophecy, he gives us a magical key that will open any lock. I didn't really mention it earlier because it didn't seem important, but there are locked doors in every area of the game that we've been to so far. So I spent the next 45 minutes of real time going back to every location and opening every chest. And when I delved back into the planet's butthole, I got poisoned like 6 times on the way to the chest and was popping antidotes like crazy. You want to know what was waiting for me in the chest at the bottom of the butthole? A single antidote. Huh. Okay. A game from the 1980s just gave me a 2023 L, dude. It's humiliating, but I also found some nitro powder, so let's go blow some shit up. And who better to do it with than the most insane fantasy race of all time? After that act of terror, we sailed to Melmond, the dustiest town I've ever seen in my life. Oh, what's that? What's the first thing you see when you enter the town? Oh, it's a graveyard. Yeah, that's cool. Welcome to our town. Try not to step on Grandpa. This lady tells us that a vampire is enacting some sort of crazy, localized climate change to ruin this place and asks us to kill it. And this place is a major bummer, so I'll do anything to leave. Mere mortals cannot kill the undying. Reduce, reuse, recycle. And that, kids, is why you should never litter. We'll find you. We take his star ruby and bounce. We go to another cave, feed the ruby to a rock, meet an old man, take all of his shit, including the earth rod, and dip. Back in the other cave, we use the earth rod and fight the undisputed king of drip, the Lich. Please join our team. We will feed you Stinky. Eager to continue walking the earth, Stinky casts Fire Raga on the Lich until it's too dead for us to recruit it. The earth crystal is saved! Huzzah! And so ends our long adventure. What? There's 3 more? Crystals? We fumble our way to a lakeside town with a group of wizards standing in a circle doing God knows what, but one of them gives us a canoe, which, all things considered, is a pretty good outcome to this situation. It's Stinky in a canoe. This is a great spot to do some leveling, by the way. I grinded in this area for like 45 minutes and never really struggled in the game after this. It's even better when the XP is only split between 3 party members. We take our canoe up a winding river and easily destroy the local wildlife.
Certified Earth Crystal Saviors.
Enter Mount Golg. Golg? Golg. Mount Golg. Huh? In Mount Golg, the floor is lava. Also, the walls are lava. This is a volcano. My toesies, my toesies! The guardian of the fire crystal is none other than Merilith, a snake lady with swords? 6 swords. And probably 6 hands, unless she's really good. She's not. Huzzah! The fire crystal is reignited, and our adventure draws to a I'm sorry? How many crystals? Now that we're done with Fire Mountain, it's time to explore Ice Cavern. The floor is ice, The walls are ice. This is an ice cave. There's a very special item here that will grant us a unique reward. But first, we must once again bid our feet farewell. I do want to give Stinky some credit here. His Fire Raga in the ice cave was a nice touch. Good work, Stinky. The main boss of the ice cave is the Evil Eye, which sounds way worse than it really is, but what doesn't in this game, right? So we get the Levy Stone, and you know what that means. Oh, you don't know what that means? Well, this is awkward. Okay, we'll just watch the cutscene, I guess. Yeah, it's an airship. Totally flies and stuff. Now that we have the ship, we can do something truly incredible. That's right. We can enter another castle. Wait, don't leave! The castle has teleporters! It's the future! The future is now! So we fight and loot and do all the things that we do, and finally we come across an unguarded chest next to a guarded throne. Personally, I'd do a quick swap-a-roo if I was that guy. That's just me, though. We open it up and ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba! It's a rat tail. It's the tail of a rat. Victory is ours. And so our adventure comes to a... Okay, so we take this terrible prize and we go all the way over here, and we go in and we run all the way up here and talk to this fool who's like an ancient dragon or some shit, and he says, getting that rat tail is so brave. Wow, never seen any shit like this before. Amazing. And he spreads his mighty wings, and boom, we are boys no longer. This dragon gifted us the power of puberty. You versus the guy she tells you not to worry about, am I right? Alright, so what really happened is that our crystal boys had their classes upgraded. For the melee guys, this means access to better equipment, and for the magic guys, this means the ability to learn higher level spells. Look at how much Finger's attack and defense increases with his new gear. Stinky still smells, but he can wear gloves now, I guess. Next, we head for the town of Gaia, and this chick says a fairy used to live there, and she was cool as hell. Yeah, where is she at? I'll tell you where she's at. Some scumbag in the desert pulled the old fairy in a bottle maneuver and made me pay 40,000 gil to get her back. Oh, what's that, buddy? You want to hear about our crystal collection? Well, this one channels the earth, and this one channels the fire, and this one channels my foot directly into your ass. We take the fairy home, and she thanks us by way of the Oxiale. Oxiale? Oxale, which is not a real word and doesn't make me stupid for maybe saying it wrong. Okay. It lets us breathe underwater. Down we go. Turns out the enemies under the ocean are a lot like the enemies on the land, just bluer and wetter. If the light of the sea is lost, we will turn into sea foam and vanish forever. That sucks. Hey, are you like a real mermaid, dude? What the hell? That's crazy. I don't really know what to make of this next part. We open this chest at least a mile under the ocean and pick up a Rosetta Stone. Me personally, I thought Rosetta Stone was just a company that sells courses on learning languages, like Duolingo, but for old people. Apparently, the Rosetta Stone is the reason that we understand hieroglyphics today, which is amazing, but I do wish this game had a boss fight with the Duolingo bird instead. Alright, let's fight Lord Squidius. I'm sure he's gonna be a real hassle. Oh, well, the water crystal has been saved and I'm unfathomably wrinkled everywhere. Back in Gaia, this creepy gentleman uses the Rosetta Stone to teach us how to speak and understand Lufanian. The good news is, we just completely learned an almost entirely forgotten language in the span of about 10 seconds. The bad news is, the Duolingo bird has noticed you. It's time to practice. We go to Lufania, talk to exactly one person, get a chime, and then never speak the language again. I don't really have much to say about the sand dungeon and the sky dungeon leading up to the fourth crystal. They're exactly what you'd expect they would be. Honestly, they made me think that 4 is just a bad number. It's too much, you know? Just make it 3 crystals next time, and then we can also get rid of one of the party members. Don't ask me who, though, because, you know, I could never pick. The most notable thing about this dungeon, aside from the crystal, is that we find out all of the 4 forces are converging on one location, the Chaos Shrine, where we killed the greatest swordsman in the land about 10 minutes into the game. That's probably important, right? This next boss needs no introduction. Well, now that he's dead, I'll give him an outroduction. That was Tiamat. The crystals are saved! To the convergence! The Chaos Shrine holds a black crystal at its center, and when we focus all of the collected crystals on it, it goes sicko mode and opens a time portal to 2,000 years in the past. Wait, we're doing time travel? Isn't it a bit late to introduce... Okay, so we're in the past now, and honestly, it just looks like a dungeon to me, dude. And that's pretty much what it is. It's just one final dungeon with a sick twist. Every floor holds one of the previous main bosses, and this time, they're pissed. Unfortunately, that's not enough to stop my little troop of demons at this point, but they put up an okay effort, and I'm proud of them. Finally, we make it to our last fateful encounter. Garland, the most epic of dead swordsmen from the future, tells us his demented plot for immortality. When we killed him in the present, the four forces of evil sent him back into the past to save him. He immediately sent the four of them into the future so that they could send him back into the past again from the present. In 2,000 years, he won't remember any of this. Huh? What? You're throwing in time travel right at the end, and it's insane? This plan makes no sense. He's just constantly going back and forth between now and 2,000 years ago, getting clapped in both times. He's trapped himself in a horrific set of events that always involves him losing. This man is an idiot. We have to kill him to save him from himself. This is by far the hardest fight in the game. Nothing else even comes close. This man absolutely wiped the floor with me for like an hour before I just said, fuck it, and farmed like 10 levels right outside his door. It still sucked, but I got that juicy W and put an end to this man's pathetic time loop once and for all. And so ends the tale of our four wayward adventurers who set out to definitely do something with the crystals and almost certainly achieve that goal, but I wasn't paying that much attention because I was trying to write the script for this video. Huzzah! Well done, lads, except Stinky. May you ever find happiness and contentment when you get to rub it on those crystals. And thank you for watching, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this adventure in the game that started it all. I'm gonna go back to playing Final Fantasy 16, the 78th entry in the Final Fantasy series. Thank you for watching, and good night.